Spring brings out our creativity. Hi, I'm Bill Wasch. Today we're going to meet some creative business people. Cook up a delicious spring lunch with Chef Michel Nischan and learn about the ancient art of Tai Chi. That's all today on In Our Prime. Adverse drug reactions are the fourth leading cause of death, ahead of pulmonary disease, diabetes, AIDS, and automobile accidents.
A drug interaction could obviously result in a harmful effect in the patient. An example might be, a patient is taking 5 or so different medications, and you add a 6th drug to that patient's drug regime, and that 6th drug powerfully interacts such that it has an additive or what we call synergistic effect with another drug that's being used to lower blood pressure, so the patient has a hypotensive episode. Now, the other type of interaction that can occur with medications is when one drug knocks out the pharmacologic activity or the beneficial effects of another drug.
Non-prescription drugs and herbal remedies can also interact with prescription medications.
We've known for years that some of the antacid preparations can interact with other drugs the patient is taking, and the interaction is an interaction that prevents the drug from being absorbed into the circulation.
Keep a list of your medications, including the dosage and how often you take them. Include all over-the-counter and herbal products that you take, and make sure your pharmacist knows what you're taking.
Stay with one pharmacy. Be comfortable with interacting with the pharmacists. Don't be afraid to go to the pharmacist, showing them your over-the-counter products, showing them your herbal preparations that you be taking, and asking these people, is it safe to take these products with my prescription drugs?
The chances for adverse drug reactions increase with the number of drugs you take. If you add any new drug or herbal remedy to your regimen and have any sign of problems, consult your physician and pharmacist immediately.
Any symptom in a patient that's new should always be considered as a possible adverse effect of a medication. That's why a physician has to know everything you're on. That's why a pharmacist has to know everything you're on. So a complete drug history is what's essential for preventing adverse effects from medications and for optimizing your therapy.
Mixing drugs can be dangerous, but mixing recipes can make a wonderful spring brunch, and Chef Michel will do that for us now.
I certainly will, and in a very tasty way that's good for you, Bill.
Can't wait.
Now, what brunch would ever be complete without a pastry-type delight like multigrain pancakes with strawberries and banana? You can take your grandkids and your family to a local strawberry orchard, pack a healthy lunch, and go pick some beautiful berries.
Great.
And then tomorrow morning or Saturday,
right,
you can make these wonderful banana strawberry pancakes. And the thing that's great about these pancakes is it's a multi-grain pancake mix, which is now available widely throughout the U.S. And the multi-grain pancake mix, Bill, is good because it's a complex carbohydrate. So it's good for you, good for your children, good for your grandchildren, really healthful stuff. And with the nutrients of these fresh local berries,
what a combination.
Unbelievable, right. Yeah, and then, of course, we want some sausage, right?
Oh, yes.
So
yes.
Would you believe that I could make you some sausage that is meat-free?
Meat-free? You mean tofu? I hate tofu.
No, you won't hate tofu after you try these, Bill. This is a widely available soy product sausage, and it's 75% less in fat. Now, not that fat is bad, but beef and pork sausage, yes, sausage fat is saturated fat. So that's a little tougher. So for heart health, being able to reduce the saturated fats is a very good idea. And we want to get more soy in our diet, especially if we're seniors or women. Soy is proven to be very, very beneficial. So a really great way to get soy into the diet when you're enjoying a great brunch.
And it's tasty soy.
Very tasty, and you'll see that in a minute. Now, we went and picked these beautiful strawberries, and as you can see, they are absolutely gorgeous. So we have pancakes to dress. We don't want to spike our glucose so much. What we're going to do, instead of using maple syrup, which is wonderful from time to time, but sometimes it's nice to have an alternative, we're going to use a good local honey. I like to use local honey a lot because the bees are pollinating on the flora in your local area.
Yeah.
And it really helps you build immunities to local airborne pollen allergies. Now, this is the most culinary work you're going to see me do because you know that I love to make everything as easy as I can. I'm basically just kind of coarsely chopping up these strawberries, no method in particular.
Even I could learn to do that, I
Yeah,
think.
this isn't that big of a deal, Bill. My kids learn how to cut at a young age.
They don't cut their fingers.
No, they don't cut their fingers.
Okay.
Yeah, I teach them proper knife safety. So here you can see these are just beautiful,
Yeah.
lush strawberries. And then we have my ever favorite vanilla bean. Here I've split it in half. You see it's been cut.
Yeah.
And inside, Bill, are all of the vanilla seeds.
I see,
So you
yeah.
can see that these are actually the seeds of the vanilla orchid. Yeah, and we love orchids, and spring is a good time of year for orchids. So we put the vanilla bean in, and this is just a 3-ingredient sauce. And here we have local honey. That almost looks good enough as it
Just
is,
eat it like that.
Just sitting right there, right? Pretty delicious, I must say.
Oh, gosh.
And then we're just going to take this over to the microwave and pop it in just for a quick 1 minute, no longer than that. And when we're finished, this is what it looks like. Oh, wow.
Wonderful.
Smell. Isn't that something?
Fantastic.
Now, what we have, because no brunch is complete without some kind of a dessert,
Right.
is a wonderful organic frozen yogurt. Yogurt has all kinds of great properties that help us digest and assimilate the nutrients in our food.
Right.
Really, really great for probiotic enzyme production in our own systems. This is really healthy
And
eating.
it looks so good.
It is good, and it's indulgent, it's decadent, and it's simple. As you can see, no fancy scooping or anything like
Right.
that. I really just took the frozen yogurt, and I'm going to stir up my strawberry sauce and just plop it. Look at that. Do you
Doesn't
think you're going to like
ever
that
look
sauce?
good.
Well, if you're going to like that sauce, watch this. Let's just go like this. Oh,
that's
my goodness.
devastating.
Great alternative to maple syrup.
I've got to try a bite.
Give it a bite. Let me know how you feel. What do you think?
Fantastic.
Excellent. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Ten years ago, HUD pioneered the reverse mortgage, a loan program for older people who were cash poor but property rich.
Reverse mortgages are a way for seniors to tap into the equity into their house. And if they're 62 years or older and have equity in their home, meaning they have no mortgage at all or low mortgage balance, they can pull money out of the equity in their home, either through monthly payments or a line of credit. And they can use that really for any purpose.
Well, I'm a retired person on a limited income and Xerox retiree with a pension and Social Security. And I really just got tired every month of trying to decide what do I pay, what can I not pay, and just counting every penny. So I thought about it for years. My pride was what kept me from doing this. And now I am so glad, and it's worked out beautifully.
Kathy Frida, a representative from a local bank, helped Mary Stark Wilson with her reverse mortgage.
Older people want to remain in their own home, and this program allows people to stay in their homes virtually for the rest of their lives.
Well, my daughter in Chicago sent me the names of all kinds of banks in this area. I called almost all of them. I expect she sent a dozen, I'm not certain. And I contacted them, and of the people whom I talked with, I had 3 people come here to the house for an interview. Kathy Frida was one. As soon as I met her, I knew this is it.
She really did her homework. I think she invited at least 3 people here and to her home, and she interviewed them, which is a really good step to go through. And we just hit it off from the beginning. She tested me, but I must have passed.
There's a lot of paperwork. I expect I worked on it 4 to 6 months. So it does take a while to get all the information together and make decisions on what to do.
Anyone who's interested in applying for a reverse mortgage must first have a counseling appointment with a non-interested third party. And I would say that's one of the most important features of the program because it's another way to have your questions answered. I recommend people do as much homework as they can.
Right, absolutely.
It literally changes the quality of someone's life. That's what it does, is it helps people change the quality of their life and have more fun and less stress in the later part of their life.
It's just not counting every penny all the time. I grew up in the Depression, and it seemed like all of my life it's been on sort of a low income, and so it's been wonderful.
I really enjoy gardening. When spring comes, it's hard to keep a good gardener back. But when you get older, it's hard on your back. So we've come up with a wonderful tip for the day. This is a waist-high indoor garden. You can turn the water on right here, water your plants. You can even do this from a wheelchair. And then we've got these stones that pick up the water. And then this whole unit is lined with copper so that the water drains right outside. And it doesn't get all over the floor. You don't have to bend down and clean up the floor after you've watered your plants. Another idea is a waist-high outdoor garden. I hope this tip of waist-high gardens will keep you growing gardens happily for a lifetime. SCORE is an organization that links retired business people with small businesses that need advice. It's a winning match for both the volunteers and the businesses they help.
SCORE was formed as a result of a suggestion in an anonymous suggestion box. And the idea was that the SBA would enter into an agreement with a volunteer organization for the purpose of providing this counseling by using the talents and the generosity of mostly retired businessmen and women. And so in 1964, the SBA had the Small Business Act amended that allowed them to do that, and SCORE was created. And since SCORE has served 7 million entrepreneurs.
One of those entrepreneurs is Ken Turcott. After working for a wholesale wine distributor for 25 years, he turned to SCORE for help in establishing his own specialty wine shop.
I used the years I had on the road, seeing so many stores that I had seen, to create something that was a little more comfortable for people to learn about wine, and this is the result here. There's definitely a time right now where people are discovering wines and getting into wines in this country. The stores that they go into just have shelves full of wine and no way of them getting information how to try new things. We're trying to educate our customers. We do that and we bring them to new varietals with the foods that they enjoy, and you've got them. Well, I knew what I wanted to do, and I knew I had researched well the ideas I had, but I didn't have any retail experience of owning a business, running a business, and I really did think I needed some help for that, so that's why I went to SCORE. And they made me write my business plan. And I said, well, I know what I'm doing, and I know I'll be successful, but no, you got to do this. And so, I spent the time to do it. The projection of what I thought I could do in dollar volume over each year, how many dollars I'd need to be in business, all that type of thing made you put it down on paper.
People come to us, some with detailed business plans, others with no business plans, and we talk them through what they want to do.
Now, I should say we'd get some satisfaction out of talking people out of businesses that are bad ideas, and we certainly get plenty of bad ideas.
Well, we came in here, and this was a shambles. It was a dark space with dust and wood all over the place, and in an area that's very rural. I must say that we were skeptical at first that he could do what he wanted to do. But he had started to work on a plan, and we helped him refine that.
That gave me the initial confidence. There's no doubt that after doing a business plan and getting it together with them, that I could feel even more confident to continue what I'm doing. That's a nice feeling. The support afterwards of them stopping in and making sure that things were going well, that's what it's all about. They were a terrific organization.
When you've got all this knowledge in your head, why not use it? And why not get the satisfaction of helping someone else to avoid some of the pitfalls that you may have dealt with?
The sculptor Larry Nolan has also benefited from the advice of a SCORE volunteer. In his Vermont studio, surrounded by bas-reliefs and gallery pieces, Larry is building a model for a large installation at the University of Iowa.
They're renovating Kinnick Stadium. Niall Kinnick was a Heisman Trophy winner in 1939, and the piece behind me is a 4-foot model of the 16-foot piece that will be out in front of the stadium, and then I'll do a very large high relief of a football scene, which will be about 20 feet long, 10 feet high, and 4 feet deep.
A few years ago, Larry decided he needed a business plan.
I don't have any business background, so I was learning everything by the seat of my pants. You know, that's all well and good, but it's always, you always have the feeling it's putting a bike together with no instructions, and everybody says it looks great, but in the back of your mind you think it might fall apart at any point. Well, that's what it was like. But when you talk to someone like Fred and the rest of the fellows at the school organization, it gives you that sense of security.
I had to find out what his sculpturing business was about. And everybody thinks sculptors make a lot of money, but when you have a look at the pro formas and see how much Larry has to spend to have these pieces cast and welded together, and that sucks a lot of the money out of what looks like an important price. And Larry's initial conclusion was, I'm not sure that the monument business is the end I want to be in, and we spent quite a bit of time exploring marketing repetitive copies of pieces via the gallery market, and we've actually had some success with that.
You know, like there's reliefs business plan and a monument business plan and a website business plan, and we've worked on all of those. You know, there's blueprints for them, but then when I work with Fred, we customize it to my needs.
Larry's business is doing well, and Fred takes pride in that.
I sort of take clients on, and after a while it almost becomes like family, you know, and the business almost becomes like I'm part of this business, so I'm sort of thinking of it in very real terms of what can I do to make our business more successful.
It's been priceless in a lot of ways, you know. I'm getting an education from someone who has an MBA from Penn, and you know, and he seems to enjoy doing it, so you know, I don't know how I could work out any better than that.
When a business succeeds, the SCORE volunteers find it as rewarding as their clients do.
As one of my guys said, we're the people who failed retirement. We flunked it. So this is an option that we find interesting and keeps us busy, and we get a lot of satisfaction out of talking with people and helping them to do what they want to do.
If we can see them, help them build their businesses and see that they enjoy doing what they do, and that's our greatest pride for all of our members.
Aston Hugh studied martial arts for 52 years and became a master. Now he teaches the gentle art of Tai Chi.
You combine the breathing with the movement. In so doing, you always use the left side, right side. So you're using the left side, right side of your brain, which is good for balance. The right side they call the yin side. The left side is the yang side,
right.
You know? And again, if you breathe in the energy from the earth, that we call it the yin energy.
Yes.
The energy from the heavens, we call it the yang energy. Right. And that's according to Oriental medicine. So a lot of times we start breathing in, you relax, the knees are relaxed, so you can relax the lower back body.
I see.
You see, if you stand like this, you see what happened? The shoulders come up.
That's right.
Right? Your butt cocked. Now look at this when I just drop my knees. All of a sudden, my whole body is in a relaxed mode.
And it's a total body process,
yes,
is it not?
Total body.
Yeah.
It's a mind-body thing.
Mind-body.
And you bring the hands up. You breathe in, hold that, and you breathe out. While doing the breathing very slow, you can develop your lung capacity, right? The breathing capacity of someone doing a 400 meters run without using the muscles, right?
Yeah.
Because when you breathe very slow like that, right? And you hold that, and you breathe out extremely slow. See, you're opening all the cells in the lungs.
Yes,
right.
yes.
Tai Chi, it's an art form, and nothing you do is incorrect. It's the feeling, the movement. Just don't tighten up. Just relax while doing it. I don't care whether it's right or wrong. You keep doing it, and as the dancers would say, you clean up as you go along. You clean up the movements as you go along.
It's very clear. I love is here.
In 1938, Charlie Prewitt was a senior at Transylvania University in Lexington, Kentucky. One day in the lab where he taught an organic chemistry class, his life changed.
I was in the lab getting it ready for the next morning, and this vision of loveliness walked in the door and said, I want to buy an organic chemistry book. And I said, I have one.
6 weeks later, Charlie and Virginia were engaged. At the beginning of World War II, Charlie and Virginia, both chemists, were hired by DuPont and sent to Oak Ridge, Tennessee to work on the Manhattan Project. Their experience developing the first nuclear bomb changed them. At the end of the war, they left DuPont and dedicated themselves to teaching.
Virginia and I talked after we left DuPont and said, you know, we know enough now through the natural sciences to destroy all life on Earth. But through the social sciences, we don't know enough about ourselves to save ourselves. So if we have any little contribution to make, we better get into the social sciences. We got a Fulbright and went to Burma because I was teaching a geography course on India and Burma and Russia, and Virginia said, well, Charles, if you're going to teach about geography, it'd be good to go see what it is.
When they returned to the United States, Virginia and Charlie resumed their teaching careers and became fervent peace activists. Charlie taught peace studies at the University of Connecticut and developed the first peace studies program at Eastern Connecticut State College. But 16 years ago, their lives changed dramatically again.
Virginia came home one afternoon and said, Charles, she'd been driving. I got lost in Stores, which is just the nearby community. And it's not safe for me to drive. There's something wrong. I'm turning in my driver's license today.
After undergoing tests, Virginia was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease.
As we walked out of the hospital, Virginia said, Charles, there's a stigma attached to this disease. I want to do what I can to get rid of it. Put it in the Christmas letter, our Christmas letter. We send out 100 a year, that Virginia has Alzheimer's. And she says, whenever you're in a group and it seems appropriate, just say, Virginia has Alzheimer's. And she took a few steps more and she said, you know, there's not much known about this disease. I want to get into a medical research program.
Virginia participated in 8 different experimental drug tests before her Alzheimer's became too severe. Charlie cares for Virginia at home and cherishes his time with her.
Over the years, I have learned from her to be more friendly and a little more outgoing and a little more peaceful. And the only credit I get for it was I was willing to learn from Virginia. So I guess the thing I appreciate about her most is what she has done for me in my life. Virginia is just one wonderful person.
That's our show for today. I hope you have a long and healthy life. Let's end with some thoughts from Ellen Rita Evans.
My life gems. One's a lovely snowy white. One's light pink, a pretty sight. And there's a large one in soft tan. And one in rose I think is grand. There's one in an aqua hue, a really lovely shade of blue. And every day I down them all. They're supposed to cure my ills. You see, these precious life gems are more aptly called my pills.
This program was made possible by
AARP Foundation, helping people find jobs, fill out their tax forms, making our communities better, helping to enhance our quality of life as we age. AARP, the power to make it better.
Major support for In Our Prime, also provided by Massonicare, with additional funding from Qualidime and Sunrise Senior Living.
We are PBS.